And we are going nowhere. We're just testing out the windshield in this position just to see if I like it or not, especially in this summer heat. We're also just gonna go to Publix. Just everyone's favorite grocery store here in Florida. And I don't really gotta pick up much. Any little excuse I have to ride the bike or test out how much the luggage can hold, you know how I'm going. Now we're also shooting in a different format today on the GoPro. I was noticing that with the format I'm shooting in, when I upload it to YouTube or TikTok, it's too zoomed in. So I just changed the ratio up a bit and let's see how that looks. Honestly, it's not even feeling that bad right now with the way that the breeze is going. I thought I'd be sweating, but I'm sure when I stop, yeah. Especially in those parking lots, that pavement can be very hot. You know, I want to say on top of that, I always get a kick out of seeing what I can fit in the hard bags. They're 24 liters, I believe. It become kind of a challenge at this point. Every grocery trip turns into a game of motorcycle Tetris. You start looking at your shopping list differently too. Not what do I need, but can I actually fit all that on the bike? Usually the answer is yes, but every once in a while Publix gets a little ambitious for the Scout. The Indian Scout 60 bobber sits pretty low to the ground, which looks great, but comfort isn't exactly its strongest feature. If you spend any time on these, you know every bump, dip, and railroad crossing tends to make itself known. Standing up for a second lets my legs absorb some of that impact instead of sending it straight through to the seat. My back definitely appreciates it. Trip to Publix, I mean, wasn't even needed. Somebody mentioned we were running low on bread, so I was like, I got it. Jumped on the bike. Pretty sure I came back with like a 6-pack of soda, some hot dog buns, some mustard, still plenty of room on in the bags. And one of my biggest fears is always, like, I get soda or beer or anything like that, it's gonna blow up in my face, and it was actually pretty good. Nothing happened. These past couple of days, it's been in the 90s, mid-90s. It's been really hot, but as you can see, it's been cloudy as well. And it's, you know, anywhere from 14 or 9 to 20 miles per hour wind gusts. So, you know, while you're going, it's all good. It's not really that hot. Some of the gear that I have on as well is for summertime desert heat. Jacket, the gloves. The jeans, not so much. Those riding jeans. Once you get off the bike, you realize how hot it is. But other than that, maybe change out the gloves. I mean, they say they're all weather and all that. They're all right. Hasn't been too hot. Like I said, 95 is hot, but luckily, you know, it's been a bit windy and cloudy. So. And of course, I missed my turn, so let's go get a light. we are off. We're finished. Like I said earlier, we fit a 6-pack of some soda, mini sodas, some hot dog buns, mustard. Distributed the weight evenly so the bike doesn't feel weird one way or the other. It's not that difficult. It still had some room for some more stuff, so you know, if you needed to get a hint of what these hard bags can hold. Again, I believe a 24 liter. I gotta look it up. Probably should have looked it up before I started talking about them. But they're hard bag, quick detach from Viking bags. Now, I mentioned it before, it is hot, but with the breeze, you don't notice it. And it does feel nice, but with something like that, especially if you're a newer rider or newer to the Florida area, you don't realize how dehydrated you've become. So whatever you can do, maybe in those hard bags, you can have some of those packets, for hydration packets you mix with a water bottle. You stop at a gas station, get some, pack your bags with a water bottle, towel, something to, splash on your back. Or get one of those camelbacks, and you can just sip as you ride, just strap it onto your back and go. But, stop from time to time. If you've been riding for a while, this bike, unfortunately, with my comfort level and age, I can ride it for maybe about an hour, 2 hours before having to get off. And once you get off, that's when you truly notice, how hungry you are, how thirsty you are, how hot it truly is. So just, if you're a newer rider, just keep an eye out for that. Now, one of the things I've been dealing with as far as this motorcycle is concerned or riding is the windshield. It got cracked in one of the spots that holds the ball joint in, or the swivel joint, swivel ball, whatever. So I just ordered the other part, was waiting for it to come there. So I've been riding without the windshield, and I remember how it was, and it's okay, but it's, yeah, you just gotta experience it for yourself to understand it. Sometimes it's just a little bit too annoying and it tires you out. But I put it on, but I noticed that, it's a little bit crooked and I need to adjust a little bit more. So we'll see how it is. But, I wanted to try it out on this ride and see what I needed to do.
Yeah, this feels good. It's not like completely knocking me on the face with the other setup. I mean, I still gotta adjust it because it's a little bit crooked, as you can see. But the other setup, it looked nicer the other way, but it was just blowing all that air right into my helmet, my face, causing the audio to have a whistling noise, causing my head to just bobble around. But right now, like, I feel it at the very top of the helmet. Seems like the wind now is coming from like the side rear.
And I'm sorry I can't be more entertaining, but this is like my most peaceful thing that I do. And the way that my brain reacts, it just shuts my mouth off when I'm riding. And I enjoy the ride, so I apologize for that.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, we got caught up in some traffic. It did last for a while, and I knew it was going to be bad when there were 2 ambulances right in front of me heading that way. So, hopefully, everybody's okay, and only the cars got damaged. Let's take a look at them. There's one totaled, and there's the other. So, like I said, hopefully, everyone's okay, and we're going on with our ride.